Welcome back everyone, Mariah Monetize here, and in today's video we're going over the price of Bitcoin. Going to be going into a deep analysis on if it looks like the bottom is in or not. So I saw something really interesting. I actually went ahead and was looking at the relationship on BTC with the candles and the 200 DMA, which is this thin green line here on my chart. And so there was a very important situation that took place over here. This was in the previous market cycle on April 2nd of 2019. And that's when Bitcoin broke through that 200 DMA. And obviously that would have been a great time to get in, because if you would have, Bitcoin ran up pretty quickly in a short period of time. And you can see here that it went from about $4,500 all the way up to almost $14,000 in a pretty short period of time. So that was from April to June. It had that massive run. And so I was actually looking to see like how many days that happened back in 2019 from the all-time high that happened in 2017. And it was, let's see here, about 444 bars. Okay, that's how long it took. And so I then went ahead and wanted to see the relationship on time when it comes over here to the current cycle that we're in, the previous all-time high that we had back over in November of 2021. And you can see here, we're at 434 bars. So a pretty similar period of time when it comes to Bitcoin and its relationship with trading above that 200 DMA. So let me go and just change this to one big chart on Bitcoin's current. So what we see currently here on Bitcoin is that the price of Bitcoin is approaching that 200 DMA. It's coming really close. So this is right here, the daily chart. This is, it's currently sitting at about 19,500. We are really close to that. So it'll be interesting to see if Bitcoin gets rejected by the 200 DMA or if it just blows right past it. So I think that if we can have Bitcoin close above the 200 DMA, that is something we really need to pay attention to. I've been preaching this for a long time, that 7-day chart on Bitcoin. So we are getting really close to the crossover as well. So I am pretty close to being like going all in on Bitcoin. And so as you can see here, clearly a green 2 trading above a green 1. We have Bitcoin flirting with that 200 DMA. This crossover is very close to happening. So we need to take into consideration that it's been very close many times before, but it hasn't actually done it. It was really close back over here in October, really actually close over here as well in March of 2022. So keeping a really close eye on that right there. Let's go and look at lower level time frames on a Bitcoin. So as you can see across many of these time frames, at 200 DMA, the relationship between Bitcoin and that 200 DMA, the price is very crucial. It is in that range, but we need to see it close above. This is a 12-hour chart right here. I would anticipate a bit of a cool off, and then maybe Bitcoin will try once again to break right through. This is a 4-hour chart looking quite strong actually. 4-hour chart looking really strong on Bitcoin. This is the hourly chart, looking strong as well, making higher highs. Let's take a look here at the 30-minute chart. We're seeing strength on the 30-minute as well. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the 5-minute on a Bitcoin. So 5-minute, I would say, is looking neutral leaning bearish, I would say. So could be, we want to be paying attention to see if there's a good opportunity to get in. And like I said, I'm really waiting for that crossover on the weekly chart. It's looking likely that it's going to happen, but I am not ready to chase Bitcoin yet. I would be looking for a bit of a pullback opportunity, and I really want to see the close above the 200 DMA for confirmation. So that is very important for me. So we have Ethereum sitting at 1418, gold sitting at 1919, big day for gold. BNB sitting at 287. Coinbase stock has recovered really quite well. I was anticipating Coinbase stock to get down to $20.
that still is a possibility, but it has come off really strong of that low and is sitting at nearly $50. Litecoin sitting at $84.49. We have Link sitting at $6.37. We have DOT sitting at $5.25. So across the board, a lot of coins have recovered in the space. I think it's really important that we take a look at traditional markets. Let's take a look at SPY and see what SPY is up to. So what's interesting with SPY here, obviously we want to see it hold. This is a weekly chart, the low of this candle right here, which is 348. If we can see SPY, I mean, SPY is actually in a very similar situation with Bitcoin. This is actually quite interesting. Look, once again, that 200 DMA. It has actually wicked above the 200 DMA, unlike Bitcoin, but it is close there as well. I have not back tested the crossover on these other moving averages to see if it works with SPY, but we know with Bitcoin it works the majority of the time. So this right here is the daily chart on SPY, and once again, that relationship with the 200 DMA, it's being slightly suppressed by it. So let's go ahead and see what it can do in the coming days. Well, today is Friday, so early next week it'll be really interesting to see what happens. This is a 12-hour chart as well. It looks very similar to the daily chart, obviously across all time frames. A lot of strength here on the 4-hour on SPY. Across all time frames, we're seeing obviously that resistance on that 200 DMA, which is really important to pay attention to. The hourly chart looks quite good. Let's see, the high of this candle right here is 397.76. So almost a green 2 trading above a green 1 on the hourly. So SPY looking very strong here, has about an hour left before the markets close. Oh, Monday is a holiday, so don't forget about that. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. This right here is a 30-minute on SPY, looking a little bit on the weaker side. I would say we want to see it get above the high of this candle right here, which is 398.43. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. 5-minute looking pretty good, trending upwards on SPY. So across the board, a lot of green in the in traditional markets. So this stock is one I've been keeping an eye on, and wow. So this right here is App Harvest. This is a company that basically grows produce indoors, and they're able to turn over crops rather quickly. And let's go ahead and see how much. I mean, it was just at 50-something cents not that long ago. So actually had a low of 48 cents. It is up 300%. Wow, pretty crazy. Did not have an opportunity to get in on that one, but a massive, massive opportunity. I'm gonna guess marijuana stocks are in the green today. Let's see, we have two arrays sitting at 321, a red day for Tilray. We kind of have a split of 50-50 between marijuana stocks, green and red. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla sitting at 120. Let's take a look at the hourly on Tesla. And let's see, you're trending downwards, hourly not looking so good. So a little bit of a cool off trading into the end of the day here on Friday. So let's go and take a look. I'll look at the Ethereum chart because like I've been saying, and it's been playing out quite a bit, is Ethereum leading the way. So I have not also back tested when it comes to Ethereum, that crossover, but wow, they are nearly touching at this point, those two moving averages. We see a wick here above the 200 DMA on Ethereum. So Ethereum chart looking quite strong there. So the relationship here with Ethereum's price and that 200 DMA is that yesterday it closed above it, and today it is currently trading above. So that could be giving us some signals that Bitcoin is next. Ethereum looking a bit extended here on the 12-hour. You know, not fundamentally. I mean, it looks like we are ready for a little bit of a cool off into the weekend, but time will tell. When Bitcoin is ready to go, it will go. It will not wait for you. Doesn't care if it's the weekend, doesn't care what day of the week it is. So that's kind of what we're seeing there. A lot more strength on those higher level time frames when it comes to Ethereum. Let's go and take a look here and see if there is any interesting news happening in the crypto space. Let's see, just in Bitcoin surpasses MasterCard and Meta, Facebook, in market value. There was 145 million Bitcoin short positions liquidated in 24 hours. So let's see, here's just some perspective here. Best case scenario for the market. Inflation continues to fall at a steady pace throughout 2023. Recent layoffs begin to spike unemployment rate. Unemployment rate hits 4.5 during Q2. Fed outlines path to begin cutting rates. So Crypto.com also announced that they are going to reduce their workforce by 20%. That's not surprising because I believe they stopped paying the UFC their basically their payments to be a sponsor of UFC. So we know that has been happening. Breaking Alameda liquidators get liquidated on Aave as they try to consolidate funds. This was announced yesterday. Breaking, Bulgarian authorities raided crypto brokers Nexo offices, which is interesting. That's kind of all that I really heard when it comes to their offices being raided. I don't know any further details when it comes to Nexo and that particular situation there. Let's see here. What else do we got? I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, looks like we're getting a little bit of a pullback here on Bitcoin. Let's see what it hit the high of. Let's see the high of this candle right here, which is 19,394, and then currently sitting at 19,291. So a little bit of a pullback. Could be an opportunity sometime through the weekend to get in. And that's kind of what we're seeing there. So yeah, a lot of strength out of Bitcoin. You know, it's really easy to try to chase it, but what I must say is this. This move looks completely different than the previous moves that we've been seeing on Bitcoin, of Bitcoin showing any amount of strength. We're seeing a ton of follow through. For example, people thought that, Bitcoin is ready to take off here. We obviously saw a nice gain. The low of this this is like 1,000. This is a daily chart here. This is like an $1,000 gain in one day on Bitcoin, and then the next day was, a $700 gain on Bitcoin. But then we saw no follow through. So what we've seen is 3 consecutive days of big moves from Bitcoin. Yesterday was it was about $1,200 gain. The previous day was about $600. We're seeing percentage-wise a lot more coming from Bitcoin, as well as just a lot of follow-through as well. When Bitcoin's ready to go, it's ready to go, and it will not wait for you. So if you think the bottom is in, it is time. I'm trying my best it's really easy to chase Bitcoin, but like I said, I'm really waiting for that one key signal to get back in, and it's that particular crossover. So staying patient for that, and really want to see Bitcoin break above that 200 DMA. That's extremely, extremely crucial. Let's just kind of go back here. This is the 7-day chart. Let's go back to Bitcoin's previous market cycle, and when that crossover happened, what you can see here is the crossover happened here, and in the next candle, Bitcoin basically closed above. But once Bitcoin closed and broke through that 200 DMA, it was go time. And as you can see here, then Bitcoin, the low of this candle right here is like $4,000, and then it ran up all the way to almost 14,000, which was obviously a massive gain. But then there was a little bit of sideways for, let's see, this was July all the way until October. So all throughout the summer, kind of like the sell in May and go away wouldn't have been a bad idea. And then that last push up to the $64,000 range. So that's all that I have for you today. Like I said, I've been mentioning in previous videos, I have 30-minute calls if you'd like to schedule one, ask anything about Bitcoin, Puerto Rico, moving to Puerto Rico. Some people even ask me travel questions and have me help them, give them recommendations for traveling to Puerto Rico. So that is all that I have for you today. As always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.